Hi, it's me, Brooks. Thank you for joining me on Heal This. Why is meditation so important? It's something that I feel like is a gift for us. And it is the listening part that is so important. I feel like prayer is a conversation, but it's usually our conversation that we're having. And God is listening and a lot of times sending back messages for us. But by that time, we've turned off, we're on to the next thing. And for me, meditation is that time where I really listen. If there's anything that I need to know, that is when it comes through. When I ask someone if they meditate, I can usually tell by the look on their face that it is not something that they do because they're envisioning sitting in a room, their legs crossed, maybe holding their hands like this, going and trying to figure out if they can sit like that for very long because it's kind of uncomfortable and thinking about 100 different things. I'm doing it wrong. I don't know how to do it. And I always say there's so many different ways to meditate. Sometimes we're in a meditative state when we're exercising, when we're doing yoga, or when we're on a run or a walk. Or sometimes I can feel myself go into that place when I'm doing the dishes. It's like I consider it being into a flow state where I'm really not even paying attention to what my body's doing. Sometimes that's out working in the yard, or if I were an artist, I could be painting. Sometimes that's when I'm singing or just in the car. The most important parts about meditation are taking a few moments at the beginning to breathe. Oh my gosh, we really just don't breathe. You have to breathe. It's important. When we're breathing, really trying to slow down the breath. It's most important to try to have the exhale be longer than the inhale. And this sends a message to the parasympathetic nervous system to tell us to relax, calm down. And when we're meditating, it's also best to have an intention. And sometimes that intention is just very simple. I'm going to have a great day today. Everything is going to work out for me. When I talk to some clients, they meditate when they run for a few minutes before you set off. Maybe you're stretching, focusing on your breath for a few minutes. You're going to set an intention, whatever that is for the day. I think of myself with every step touching the ground, that I am connected to earth, that I am part of this beautiful planet, and that I am being fed by the light and the love that is here. And then I really visualize myself connecting to source as I'm running. And then you can let that go and listen. It doesn't have to be the whole time that you have affirmations going. You can just do it at the very beginning. And really, once you are in the flow state, you aren't thinking of any of those things. You are ready to receive any messages. And sometimes you won't even get them until later, but they're downloading then. A lot of people say that they have a hard time really concentrating when they're doing some kind of meditation, and that other things keep coming into their mind. And that happens to me all the time. It's human. It's extremely normal for that to happen. And what I do is I just ask them to leave. Things will come into my mind, a grocery list, something I need to fix, something I need to do. I will be thinking about someone, they come into my mind, and I just say, okay, I'm meditating right now. I will get back to you in a minute. And I put them on a little shelf in my mind, and I think I'll come back to you. And then I just go back to what I was doing. I'm ready to receive messages again. And I go back into that meditative state. It's all normal. Another suggestion is to have a pad of paper and something to write with next to you. And when that happens, you just write it down, and then you can go back to meditating and address those things later. There's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't mean that you've messed it all up. The only thing I would say is that if you really wanted to focus on meditating and having that be part of your practice and you're afraid you're going to be interrupted, you could always turn your phone on silent for a little while, or just go somewhere where you can be alone for 5 or 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be very long, just enough time to do some breathing, some connecting, and then just listening. And sometimes that's 2 minutes. So just give that part a chance. I read this once and it just made so much sense to me. You know, when you drop something in the water at the beach or a lake and the bottom is sandy or muddy, and you go to retrieve it out of the bottom of the water and it gets cloudy and there starts to have all this stuff come up. And if you just wait and let it be still for a moment, you can see it and then you can just reach down in and grab it out. And that's exactly what meditation is. A lot of times we are so busy, we have so many thoughts going on, we're all up in our head about things, we're not focused on coming back into our heart and focusing on relaxing our body. We're not doing any of that. We're not even breathing. So if we take a few minutes to just let all of the mud settle down, then we can see more clearly and we can be more at peace. We can have a way of being more self-aware, and our problem solving becomes easier. It actually just increases all of the relaxation in our body, and it decreases anxiety, stress, depression, and pain. So don't we all want more of that? So just taking a few minutes to focus on slowing down your breathing, setting intentions. You can have affirmations, or you can ask questions, or you can set a statement for the day. Show me how I can know whatever it is you're needing to know for the day, or you're really trying to work on for yourself. And then really listening. And all of those messages, those are our intuition, right? We are listening with this tool that we have that is our intuition. Intuition is a tool, meditation is a tool, trusting is a tool, but they're also muscles. If we don't use them, they become weak. The more we use them, they become strong. So I just wanted to encourage you to take a little bit of time to connect with yourself and to source, to meditate. So prayer would be more of a conversation that you are starting, and meditation would be you listening, and really listen, and then afterwards write it down. That's where journaling would come in. Today while I was meditating, I saw a hummingbird in my mind, or I saw a bridge in my mind. What do those things represent? What do they mean? Is there some kind of meaning in them for me today in my life? That's how it works. There's just little tiny gifts, little tiny messages if we're looking for them.